time for massive teacups. Hello everyone, it's Becky here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another tag video. Today I am doing a book design tag which was originally created by Wholly Done Design, and I was very kindly tagged by Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. This is one of those tags which I really enjoyed other people doing, and I really love to watch it and admire all those lovely covers, but I thought myself that it's one I could never do myself because I never really cared very much about book covers, but then Alice tagged me to do it. So here I am, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to show you some of my favorite covers I have in my bookshelf, so I really hope you will enjoy it. I will link both of the channels to the description down below, so I highly recommend you to go and check them out. And without further ado, I will just start. So the first prompt is a book you bought primarily or completely because of the cover. As you know, I mentioned before that I really try to avoid doing this and buy books just because of the cover. But there is one book which I must say I really did buy only because of the cover, and it's this one. It's an edition of Three Musketeers, which I do already have two different editions at my bookshelf, but a couple months ago we went to this book market with my sister and I saw this pink edition of Three Musketeers with the comic on the top. So immediately I had to buy it because there is also Alexandre Dumas sketched on the back, and then inside you have these pages with little comics. Well, it's actually the introduction to the characters, so I just really love that and I really wanted to get it just for the cover, so yes, I do it as well. So that's the first tag. The second question says a book you want to buy that has a beautiful cover. And here I would say probably The Empire of the Vampire, which is the book I finished very recently and I still did not have time to speak about it, but hopefully I will soon. I had it as audiobook and I really love it, but I also know that it has a wonderful cover. But because I do not usually reread books, I know that even though if I would buy the book, I would probably not read it again. So I'm like, I don't know, but it's one of the books which I would really love to have in my shelf. Your favorite series design. If you know me a little bit, you know that I do not read series very much, but I am gonna do it in my way and I'm gonna say these three books, which is actually not a series but it's an edition of Jane Austen books, because I have these lovely three books. It's Emma, Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, with these wonderful pinkish and flowerish covers, and I really do like flowers on the top of the covers. This one is Pride and Prejudice, hopefully you can see it. Then here is Sense and Sensibility, and then here is Emma. So these three lovely pinkish covers, because we have one edition from Jane Austen which has all the books in these wonderful pinkish and flowery covers, and I really do love them, but so far I only have these three books. Right, dust jacket, a book with a beautiful dust jacket or something unexpected under the jacket. So here I'm gonna say the book which I mentioned a couple times before, and it's called The Peculiar Life of a Lonely Postman. I can never pronounce it. It has very special dust jacket actually, because it looks like this, but in real you can take the book out of it, and then on the other side the book looks like a letter, because it's about this postman who was falling in love with a woman who was writing haiku in the letters to one man, and then suddenly the man dies and this postman decides to continue in his journey in a secret, and he starts to write haiku himself and start to change letters with this lady who has no idea that the previous man died and this postman now took his place actually. So it's very interesting story, very interesting book, and I really do love this book cover and this dust jacket. Naked Hardback, a gorgeous book with no dust jacket. Here I decided to choose two books actually. One would be Ice Cream Queen, which I really like because it looks kind of vintage and it's a lovely summer story about a woman who basically built the ice cream empire by herself. Very lovely book. And then I have one more which is called Príbehy pre potešenie duše by Bruno Ferrero. I mentioned this book once before, but I really do love it because it was illustrated by a Slovak illustrator called Lenka Javorská, and she also did wonderful illustrations inside of the book, and I just like the cover very much as well. So these two books definitely, without the dust jacket. A beautiful paperback. Here I have two books again. One would be How to Be Victorian, which is the book I mentioned a couple times before, I know. I really do not want to say that I bought this because of the cover, but I kinda did as well, because I mean it's just beautiful. And then on the other side I love it very much as well. So this one, and then one more which is called Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's very thin, lovely book which has sparkly cover, you can see it hopefully, and it's very interesting story as well. It's set in Japanese coffee shop called Funikuni Funikula, and basically what you can do in this coffee shop is that you can travel to the past, but you can do it only if you sit in a particular seat and only you have time until your coffee, which you are currently drinking, or any sort of hot beverage, won't get cold. So very interesting story, and highly recommend you to pick it and read it as well. Okie doke, so a non-fiction book with a lovely cover. Oh, okay, I forgot about this one. I tried to go through my non-fiction book, but I realized that I actually do read mostly non-fiction as ebooks, and I do not tend to buy many of them in physical copy, so I actually don't have one to show you, but yeah, sorry. A book with the great end papers. Here I have a book by Tracy Chevalier called Lady and the Unicorn. I just love the cover in general, but then if you take the cover off, here inside you have these wonderful 2 pages, and I just really like how it looks like. Ooh. Yeah, so this one from Tracy Chevalier. And then the last question is Spine, a book that looks Spine, a book that looks just as gorgeous spine out as it does face out. English. Okay, here I'm gonna say Ghost Girl, which is very lovely book, and it looks like this on my bookshelf, and there are actually 2 more books in the edition, but I left them upstairs accidentally, but I really like how it looks on my shelf. So, I think those were all the questions, yes, all the books, and the last one is to tag some friends. So I would like to tag 3 channels here, and that would be Mariana Ma's Books, Rosie Cockshot, and Book Time with Elvis. So you 3 lovely people, if you haven't done this tag, I would love to see your answers, and I would love to see your covers and your books. And for all of you, thank you very much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're new here and still considering to subscribe, please do so, because it would be lovely to have you here, and I will see you with another video very soon. Take care, bye!